Welcome to Matters Financial and Geopolitical from a Frontier. Thank you for stopping by. Time, of course, is a very precious thing, and I appreciate the fact that you stopped by. Let's move on to Sub-Saharan Africa. Gabon's President Ali Bongo is gradually recovering some of his functions after becoming seriously ill last month. On a trip to Saudi Arabia, a spokesperson for the presidency said on Sunday, the president's health has improved over the last days, presidency spokesman said in a video statement on the government's official Twitter account. A lack of official information regarding Bongo's health has fueled speculation about his ability to govern. In an earlier statement, the presidency said doctors in Riyadh had diagnosed Bongo with severe fatigue and ordered bed rest. Last month, Reuters, citing one diplomatic source, said Bongo suffered a stroke. Fayulu, the leader of the Engagement for Citizenship and Development Party, will stand against Emmanuel Ramazani Shadari, a hardline former interior minister backed by Kabila in the December 23 vote. One of the issues dividing the opposition is the introduction of South Korean electronic voting machines, which some say will be used to rig the vote. After Sunday's announcement, Fayulu, when questioned about this, said the opposition would work relentlessly to seek the scrapping of the machines. The battle continues. We want an election without voting machines. Then WTB Klaus tweeted, a bloody big spanner in the works, a bloody great fly in the soup. The UDPS, via its Secretary General, rejects Fayulu's nomination and asks Tshisekedi to withdraw from the Geneva Agreement. Sudanese militias moonlight as poachers in Central African Republic's Badlands, as an article in the Pulitzer Center. It was not the hippo carcass that troubled the wildlife rangers the most, nor were they especially surprised to uncover a cache of powerful assault rifles in this volatile region awash with uncontrolled arms. The most unsettling find from their counter-poaching raid in Chinko, a vast wildlife reserve in the Central African Republic, was a handful of identity cards belonging to soldiers from Sudan's paramilitary forces, a discovery suggesting that Khartoum's fighters are moonlighting as poachers hundreds of miles beyond its borders. Quite a story that. Cash runs out in Khartoum as Sudan tries to halt economic crisis. Many cash machines in the Sudanese capital have run out of banknotes as the government scrambles to prevent economic collapse with a sharp devaluation and emergency austerity measures. Rising demand for cash due to inflation, lack of trust in the banking system, and the central bank's policy of restricting the money supply to protect the Sudanese pound have all contributed to a liquidity crunch that has worsened in the past 10 days, pending new banknote deliveries. I move from place to place until I find a money changer with funds, because a large number of the cash machines are empty. We expect the price of the dollar to continue to rise. With the scarcity of foreign currency, the practice of dealing at the check price has become widespread. The real exchange rate is the parallel markets at University of Khartoum. Professor Mohammed Al-Jank, as always is. Zimbabwe invites bids for struggling national airline. Government pushes ahead with the drive to privatize and end state funding of loss-making firms. Air Zimbabwe owes foreign and domestic creditors more than $300 million and was in October placed into administration to try and revive its fortune. South African all shares down 12.18% this year. The rand weakened 0.2% to 14.3672 after sliding 3.3% in the previous two trading sessions. We expect the rand to be volatile with a weakening bias towards the 1450 area in the short term. Currency has lost 14% against the dollar this year, more than any emerging market peer except Argentina's peso, Turkey's lira, and Russia's ruble. This is a 6-month chart, dollar rand, and I still think we're at risk of going up towards 17. Egyptian pound lost at 17.9070. It's been very stable. Nigerian all share down 15.95% this year. They're of course raising the Eurobond. Ghana Stock Exchange down plus 3.41% this year, but it's lost a lot of gains. It was up very strongly at the beginning of the year. Vodacom falls as South African consumer woes hit sales growth. International portfolio was a bright spot, helped by the recent acquisition of a stake in Safaricom from its parent. Services such as money transfer and M-Pesa have helped drive growth, and 2.3 million new customers in the period almost matched the South African figure of 2.5 million. I attended the Kenya Mining Forum yesterday and took a cameraman. This is the film footage of the Cabinet Secretary of Mining and Petroleum, John Munyas. In his speech, he said many things, but he also said less talk in meetings, we need more action, action and more action. Simon Wall made a presentation as well, and he said that the Kwale mine represented 65% of the total value of Kenya's minerals production. Full year performance in 2018, ore mined 11,330,000 tons. Ilmenite produced 465,000 tons, rutile 92,000 tons, zircon 37,000 tons. Export value 20 billion. Kenya shilling 102.47. The key area, and I wrote about this, is the 105 to 107 area, but it remains the best performing currency in Africa this year. Nairobi all share minus 14.04% year to date. NSE 20 minus 23.49% year to date. Horticulture earnings hit 104 billion in 8 months. This is a big, rose by a third, compared to 78.2 billion earned during a similar period last year. Much of the growth was led by a rise in flour exports, whose earnings are forecast to grow further after Kenya Airways late last month began direct flights to New York. Thanks for stopping by.